Hey y'all, it's Lippy with Gemini Homestead. Today is today's June 2nd. Sorry, June 2nd. I'm still stuck in May. I got my cameraman. I want y'all to see something. Now the ones that's been following us, y'all know this is a blessing. Now we picked these squash and zucchini this morning. It's June 2nd. And with our little garden, what was left from the storm, I said we're going to do stuffed squash. Now, if you've never had it, you got to try it. I grew up with this, and it's very tender. Now, you want to start off with a tender squash. You don't want it to get overly done. Now, this one is fairly large, but it's also a different variety, and as you can see, it's extremely large, but it's tender. So, I'm going to save this. I may fry that one. So, we're going to get this cut. I'm going to show y'all what I've done so far. He's going to bring the camera down. Okay, now all I've done is I've cut the tips off. Okay, we're going to take you step by step. And I just slice down the middle, because this is really the first thing that you want to do. And I've got a bowl here to take the flesh out. Now, I leave the seeds in, but y'all don't have to. This is going to go fairly fast. Now, see, I left this one different because I want to show y'all something. I kind of hold it as my handle for my finger to core the end out, the belly of the squash. Now I'm just using a spoon. Now I've got it just enough to where I can cut this off. Now we're not going to throw anything away except the very tips. I should have turned it around. There we go. See, when you're working with a tender squash, you can really get the flesh. Because what you're doing is you're making a boat. Okay. Now you got the idea. I'm going to set that there. And then what I do is I take this little end off and I just dice it. Okay, so let me show you what we've got so far. We started off, we got 3 squash. Okay? All I did was cut the ends off and I cored it. We've got a bell pepper. This was my last bag from 2019. So we've got about a half a cup of green bell pepper. We've got a medium yellow sweet onion. I diced 2 garlic cloves. And I'll try to put the link in. Here's a tablespoon of tomato paste that I freeze by batches and I pull out what I need. So you've got squash, you got a medium onion, about 1/4 of a cup of green bell pepper, 2 tablespoons of garlic. Now we're going to move over here. Now this is where you can omit the ground beef and have a vegetarian, or you can do ground turkey, ground chicken, breakfast sausage. And as you can see, all I'm doing is lightly browning it, but you see the pink that's still in there. Okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my onions and bell pepper. Now I have not salted or peppered this, but I'm going to leave the garlic out for right now because garlic will burn. Now I'm going to get this browning. Let's turn our heat down. Because you don't want the meat to cook too fast. You want to really saute these vegetables. Now this is where we're going to come in with a little salt, and what this does is it breaks down the vegetables and it allows them to saute. And I'm going to hit it with a little bit of black pepper. Okay, that's all we've got going. And we're going to get this sauteed. Now I'm going to go finish up that other squash, and then when we come back, we'll go to the second step. Okay, we're on the second step, y'all. Here is the squash. Remember, all we did was core out the flesh. Now, here is the flesh with the little chopped pieces, okay? So this is 3 medium squash. If you remember, the ground meat is browning with 1/4 cup of bell pepper, diced bell pepper, and I about a medium yellow sweet onion, and I would say a half to 3/4 cup. That's depending on taste. Now, we've got our oven preheated to 400. I should have told you at the beginning. Preheat your oven to 400. Y'all, this first time I had a cameraman. This is olive oil. Can they see from there? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil, okay? With clean hands, I want to work that olive oil in. Because you're thinking, wow, this is going to be tough. Yeah, it's going to be so tender because remember, we're eating everything. The only thing we've actually wasted was just the tip and the bottom. Got a wet rag. Now I'm going to come in and I'm going to hit it with a little bit of salt. Now this is non-iodized. This is just cooking salt. You can use Himalayan, really it's your choice. But if you put just a little bit of salt on here, it's going to start breaking down the membranes. That's the flesh of the vegetable. And that's what's going to make it tender. Alright, let's come back over here and check this. It's starting to brown. Now remember, all we've done is salt and pepper. Now we're going to come in with our squash. And we're going to let this get tender. We're on almost a low heat because this is an iron skillet, so it's going to retain its heat. So you don't want to cook this on high, y'all. You want it to really almost steam once it gets to this point. Now this is where you could actually stop and stuff your squash, but we're not going to stop here. We're going to add rice. You can also add frozen corn, frozen peas and carrots. It's really endless what you can do. This is just the basis. Alright, I'm going to get this squash tendering, and then we got a third step. So, see you back in about a minute. Okay, the squash is tender. Now this is a step you don't want to miss. And like I said, I'm going to try to put it in the description, this link. I'm learning to do links. This is tomato paste. This is a tablespoon. But this is the key to using it. And that's any tomato paste, whether it's in a can, in a tube. But you want that tomato paste to be dropped, and you want that tomato paste to cook. That's going to take that bitter metal taste out. Now this is frozen, so it's going to take just a little bit. And what this is going to do is bring a little bit of richness. You will not taste the tomatoes, I promise you. But it really does bring this meal together. But you can also leave it out. Alright, now we're going to come in with the garlic, because remember, if you start off with garlic, you're going to burn it. So garlic is the last thing that you're going to add to this. Now we're going to let these flavors just kind of cook. Oh, it smells so good. Alright, I'm going to get it off the heat. And we're going to move the camera over. And we're going to add some rice. And that's an option. And get these babies stuffed. Okay, y'all, we got it sitting over here. Now, I'm not sure if I mentioned, but your flavors. You could actually go with Italian sausage. That would be good. Parmesan cheese. Maybe top it with some mozzarella. Like I say, I'm just giving you the original recipe that I grew up on, and you make it your own. Now, of course, we're in Louisiana, so everybody knows Louisiana people got to have rice. Now, all I made was a cup of rice. I may not use the whole thing, but I'll put it in the freezer. That's going to be just enough. I don't know, one little spoon more. Never hurt nobody. There we go. Now, once we get these stuffed, we're going to cover them with foil. I'm going to bake them a half hour, okay? I'm going to test them with a fork, which a half hour I already know is going to be tender. Like I said, these are tender squash. I'm going to remove the foil and let them cook another 10 minutes to kind of bind up and get brown. But you can also add Parmesan cheese at that point too, even we're using ground meat. Now I'm just going to stuff these. You notice I'm not picking these squash up because a lot of times I'll cook this in the morning and I'll wait and put it together. It may not be too hot. Yeah, it'll be fine. I got tough hands. And you want to pack it in there because we're not going to waste any of this. Now it's a messy job. Alright, I'm going to get all of these packed in. Then I'll bring you back when we put them in the oven. Okay, we got them stuffed. Now, I'm going to show you. We had a little bit of leftover. So all I did was pack it in here on the side. That's just the stuffing. And then I really loaded these squash. But if I pick one up, you'll see it's stuffed. I just left a little bit of stuffing here. Now we're going to cover it in foil. We're going to bake it at 400 degrees, preheated oven now, for 30 minutes. We're going to take the foil off, let it continue to bake another 10 minutes, and that's when you can add some Parmesan cheese, leave it like it is, which I'm going to leave mine like it is. And lunch is served, y'all. Let's see. Picked at 7:30 a.m. We're going to eat it at 1 p.m. Not too bad. The only thing that didn't come from this garden was the rice. And I had to purchase the meat. Other than that, this is Jim and I Homestead's vegetables. So, I'll share the plate with you when it's done. Well, what do y'all think? Garden to table. But, guess what I found while it was baking? Let me show y'all.
She found it.
Y'all, I lied to myself. I still have bell pepper and a bag of onions left over from last summer, so I'm not in a panic attack no more.
Had it stashed.
But you saw the plate. We're about to enjoy our blessings, and this really is a big deal to us because after that storm, we wasn't sure what the garden was going to do. And the Lord prevailed for us. So I hope you try the recipe. Like I said, I'll work on that link to see if I can link some of the what was it, tomato paste. That's what it was. It was tomato paste. If I can't, you're just going to have to hunt the video. But until next time, God bless you.